There's nothing spookier than the end of October with Halloween right around the corner and a playoff berth on the line. Dutchtown is looking to put a stamp on a stellar 5-5A season and avenge last year's loss at the hands of the Yellow Jackets. Denham Springs is looking to play spoiler and make it 2 in a row. Will it be the Griffins or the Yellow Jackets? You'll find out tonight exclusively on the REV Game of the Week.
REV Business started small in 1935. We built our reputation by providing hometown service with Louisiana hustle. For nearly 90 years, we've expanded across our great state, through the swamps and across the Mississippi, bringing fiber optics from the capital to the North Shore, all to connect your business with the world. REV is about big business technology with small business personal service. For a limited time, get up to $300 off business services. Call or visit us today at letsrev.biz.
B.T. Chapman and A.J. Pickett with Advantage Therapy are honored and excited to team up with Dutchtown High School's athletics. At Advantage Therapy, we are dedicated to helping our patients regain the highest possible functional status through one-on-one patient care. Advantage Therapy has spent nearly 2 decades providing both outpatient orthopedic physical therapy and occupational therapy to the people of Ascension and surrounding parishes. From all of us at Advantage Therapy, go Griffins!
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, forget about X's and O's. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Dr. Brian Hollis is Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Dr. Hollis has an excellent reputation for bringing state-of-the-art technology and the highest standard of patient care to Ascension. He attended LSU Dental School, and he completed a residency to become a board-certified specialist in orthodontics. An avid supporter in our community, Dr. Hollis is married to Celeste Pyron Hollis, and they have 4 children. Dr. Hollis, Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Grow up smiling with Hollis Orthodontics. Get to know SEC Heating and Cooling this year. Locally owned and operated by Stephen Conyer since 2013, SEC Heating and Cooling works with residential and commercial customers in Ascension, East Baton Rouge, Livingston, and surrounding parishes. SEC specializes in preventive maintenance, repair, and complete changeout and installation of energy-efficient central air systems. From professional sales and expert installation of central AC systems to repairs and ductless AC systems, we can handle all your needs. For total peace of mind, call SEC today.
No one teaches you what to do immediately after an accident. Once everyone is safe, your first call should be to an attorney, not the insurance company.
Don't let the insurance company take advantage of you at your time of need. Call the Title Law Firm. We'll walk you through what you need to do in real time.
But you can take advantage of the Title Law Firm's 30 years of experience.
Before you call your insurance, make a free, no-obligation call to the Title Law Firm.
Call 756-0007 when you're injured. You gotta call Title.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a great night for football here on the REV Game of the Week. It's the Griffins and the Yellow Jackets. I'm Jimmy Frederick, along with me, Patrick Emel, and we have got a heck of a matchup here. Week 9. Can you believe it's Week 9 already, Patrick? And, we're getting close to figuring out who's going to be playing in the playoffs. But before we get there, this is a game that was a strange one last year just because Dutchtown was up by 17 points. And then all of a sudden things kind of fell apart. The wheels came off the wagon. But so far, Dutchtown has been playing some pretty good football here over the last several weeks coming into this one.
6-1 on 7-1 on the season, and got 3 wins early. Took that break, and that kind of affected them a little bit, I think. Even though they got off to a great start offensively against Walker, got up 20-0, and similar to the Denham Springs game last year, and how you handle adversity, and so. We fell short 21-20 in that game. The next week, we were up 7-0 against Live Oak, and then Live Oak came back and went up 9-7, got a safety. Everything seemed to be falling apart, and Dutchtown answered, handled that adversity.
Well, and looking at this, Denham Springs leads the series 2-1. First meeting since 2005 was last year when, as we said, Denham Springs won 21-17. So Denham Springs graduates 30. That's incredible. They lose basically their entire football team from last year, which went 10-3, and of course went to the quarterfinals for the first time since '85.
Well, that 2-1's a little deceiving. That's 1-2 on the field.
Right.
I was on the staff that we had a forfeit because of an ineligible player. It was a kicker that I don't even think played in the game, and we had lost that. So, but yeah, I think that win last year catapulted Denham Springs into that 10-3 season because I wasn't sure how good they were, but it's not about how good you are at the beginning, it's how good you are 2 weeks from now.
That's right, and we've got some very experienced coaches on both sides of the football field. Brett Beard, his fourth year, 20-20 in overall record, but he said, this is where he wanted to be. He couldn't wait to be at Denham Springs. He came from Live Oak before that, and then Woodlawn as well, and then Guy Mastretta, who you know very well, and I know him well, 7 years here, and he is really enjoying his time here at DUTCHTOWN.
Well, it's a crucial year for DUTCHTOWN, and nobody is thinking about it because it seems way off in the distance, but in August, this program's going to lose some players,
right?
Because they're going to Prairieville High, and
oh wow,
so you want to put that best product, and you want those sophomores because they're going to have a decision to make whether they're staying or going, and they want to be part of a program that's 9-1 going into the season, quarterfinals, semifinals in the football season. So you want to kind of build that momentum, so they want to continue to stay here. At least the one that had the potential to leave on you. The freshmen coming in won't have a choice.
And last week, of course, DUTCHTOWN beat Santa Maria pretty handily, 31-7, and East Ascension over Denham Springs, 24-10.
DUTCHTOWN took control of that game in the second half, 7-0 at halftime. They went up 14-0 and had a short shank punt and gave Santa Maria a short field, and they went up top for a 40-yard, and that was their only scoring. And then it was DUTCHTOWN kind of got after them.
Well, you see the 5A district records. Walker's at 7-1, Santa Maria is 7-2, DUTCHTOWN 6-1. And everybody says, well, why is that? Well, number one, they had a bye in week 4, and then the Carver situation really threw things off. They didn't play a game, as you well know, for 3 full weeks, and that can really hurt you. But Guy says they're really back to their preseason form or their early season form.
I talked about it back then. It was almost like a fall camp to a certain extent. You didn't play, or maybe a bowl game separation. And of course, all the Griffins, if they don't know it or not, they are Gator fans tonight because they need Santa Maria to not let last week's game against the Griffins affect this week's games against Walker, because that's the only way DUTCHTOWN can get a piece of the district championship.
That's a great point.
If Walker's got to lose, and they'll have Live Oak next week. So.
And you see Denham Springs at 0-3, but Guy Mastretta said, that's what makes Denham Springs a little bit dangerous. Not a little bit dangerous. They play like an animal that's backed against the wall, and that's exactly what they are. And that's how Coach Beard coaches them. Yeah,
they're 3-5. I don't know where they're sitting at power points right now because it's all about power points. But I would think 4-6 will be tough to get in. They really need to get to 5-5. And so in order for them to get to 5-5, they got to win tonight. So you're going to see their best effort tonight, I think, of the season.
What are your keys for the game for this one tonight?
On right there for you, Denham Springs got to be sound in the box because DUTCHTOWN's going to run the football. They're going to pull 2 people, and they're going to kick wrap football terminology right there, and they got to be able to cause the football to bounce. They can't let LaKeedron Harvey get north-south and break long run that he has done in the past. And apply pressure, get Ethan Oakwan out of his comfort zone. That's big for Denham Springs, and they talked about the big play. DUTCHTOWN, their offensive line has gotten better. Their defensive line has become more disciplined early in the season. They weren't gap sound like they needed to be, and that kind of hurt them. And big plays with the secondary, they got to make sure Denham Springs doesn't go over the top and stay away from turnover. That really hurt them in the Walker game, and they only lost.
Well, talking about a little bit about the defense is talking with the coaching staff, talking with Guy again, is the fact that he says he's got some really good defensive backs, but he doesn't know that his defensive backs can really hang with the receivers that Denham Springs is going to put out there. But like you mentioned, that defensive line has come on strong and is really a solid part of this DUTCHTOWN attack.
Yeah, last week I thought Santa Maria had a good plan early. The Babin kid was throwing it, and they were completing some balls against our secondary. But then Coach Howell turned the front loose, turned Blake Bowie loose, turned Carter Hanbury loose, and they got after Bab, and that changed the whole complexion of the game.
We're going to take a quick break. We're going to have our national anthem in just a bit. Both our teams are going to be out on the field momentarily. We are just about ready for a big football game between the DUTCHTOWN Griffins and the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets. Don't go anywhere, folks. You are watching the REV Game of the Week.
REV Business started small in 1935. We built our reputation by providing hometown service with Louisiana hustle. For nearly 90 years, we've expanded across our great state, through the swamps and across the Mississippi, bringing fiber optics from the capital to the North Shore, all to connect your business with the world. REV is about big business technology with small business personal service. For a limited time, get up to $300 off business services. Call or visit us today at letsrev.biz.
The best way to recruit for at-home tailgating is Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin. All of the 5 stars are at Chris's Specialty Foods. Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
Patrick Email live here at Griffin Field, getting ready for the Dutchtown High, Dutchtown Sound performance of the national anthem in the Dutchtown alma mater, led by Shealy Bell. Shealy Bell in year 50. I'll be 99 if I get to year 50 in education. And here come the Griffins.
It's a little warm for late October, but it is a pretty night for football. There's the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets coming on the field.
Before the game, Coach Guillot, Jimmy, you and I were talking about the late Coach Guillot. In my first game coaching at Parkview, we played against Denham Springs. And coming from the military academy, we used to play, and I'm saying this because Denham ran out with the flag. And being a West Point guy, I was used to the alma mater after the game. And Coach was talking, and I said, Coach, you want to they're playing a national anthem. I mean, they're playing the alma mater, and I distracted him, man. He was not happy with me after that game. Don't ever interrupt his post-game speech again.
We are going to listen to this great band by Dutchtown.
Dear Father, I thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight, to go out in the world and shed your light. Will you help them show each other and you respect as they compete tonight and as the night goes? Will you help us show your works, Father, and follow you as your shepherd? Father, I would like to thank you for this environment that we are able to be present in and all the activities you have enabled us to participate in. Father, I pray that you protect players, fans, and staff so we may get home safely. In your name we pray, amen.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem in the Dutchtown alma mater, brought to you tonight by the Dutchtown Sound.
Incredible rendition of our national anthem. And, man, I did not realize you were a West Point guy. Must have had a great time at LSU last week, I hope.
Well,
not besides the game, but I'm sure it was a
well, I thought it was going to be 70-3. So We only lost 62-0, so the fact that we gave up 8 less than I thought we would give.
Still must have been an incredible experience to be at West Point, and we appreciate that very much.
I had a classmate come in I hadn't seen, but once in the last 30 years. He spent a weekend with me and came to the game last week and made 5 tailgates, first time in the SEC stadium. So he had the time of his life. Sent him home with a little gumbo, little sausage action. So he was good.
Nice.
Okay. You know, while they're playing the alma mater, Jimmy, I told you I had a story for you. You know, some 21 years ago on a Friday, I called my wife. At the time, I didn't know her.
Oh, wow.
I got a number from a friend of mine, and we were supposed to meet, and I called her, and I asked for a date on Saturday night. She wasn't doing nothing. 10 months later, we were married. So today, we had a phone call. This is kind of a blind date, our first time working together. We'll see if it turns into a 20-year marriage. I don't know.
Well, it must have been meant to be for sure, and maybe us too. Who knows? Well, we got some football to play now. Denham Springs and DUTCHTOWN, and talking with the guys and looking at our rosters, Denham Springs feels like they're undersized along the offensive line. Their offensive line, they lost 6. They're starting 6 from last year, so they have really had to rebuild that offensive line. And again, Coach Beard has said they have really made some improvements over the course of the season.
Well, you mentioned that they lost 30 players, and most good 5A football programs almost have to lose 30 a year to a certain extent. And obviously it's not 30 starters because you're starting, but you're losing depth and those kind of things. And in order for a junior to play and a sophomore to play at this level and to be a championship quality team in 5A football, they have to be almost D1 prospects to play at the sophomore level, and then a 1AA type talent to play as a junior. And then you got some program guys that are part of it.
Shake hands, introduce yourselves.
Number 19, number 7.
Of course, we're going to have the coin toss in just a bit.
All right, listen up, guys. Number 6. AW are the captains, okay? Y'all know what sportsmanship is, right? That's what I want to see out here, good sportsmanship, okay? And your teammates get out of control, y'all handle it, okay? Because if we get involved, no one's happy, and we don't want to see that, okay? DUTCHTOWN, of course, you're home, black jerseys. Number 22.
Number 6.
Heads, I have a tail. Call his tails. And it is heads. You want to defer, correct? You want to receive, yes. Okay. You want to kick from the clock, correct? Yes.
Captains for the Griffins.
Facing each other.
Cangelosi, number 64. Carter Hanberry, number 22. Dylan DeShary, number 83. And Caden Mackey, number 1.
DUTCHTOWN will be kicking off and defending the south end zone.
Let's take a look at our starting lineups if we could. We'll start off with Denham Springs offense. Here we go. Our quarterback is going to be number 9, Jerry Horn. There were a little confusion of whether or not they were going to play Jerry Horn or Goldman. They went with Horn. It's going to be R.J. Johnson, the running back. Tylen Hayes is the wide receiver, along with Deshaun McBride, LSU committed safety. Seth Bishop is the tight end. Peyton Puffer is the halfback. You've got Jaden Buchanan as the left tackle. The left guard is Cy Martin, and center is Vance Crow. Right guard is Caleb Koss, and the right tackle is Christian Ferguson. We'll take a look quickly at the defense for DUTCHTOWN.
At the defensive ends, you got Zion Tremont, defensive tackle Josh Lewis, and at the nose, Diego Spears, Blake Bowie, and Carter Hanberry, the outside backer, 21 and 22 respectively. Mason Miles, Brennan Baker, not sure if he'll be in the starting lineup tonight. He had a boot on earlier. We'll see. Riker Rogers, Lathan Riley, Jeremy Jackson, and Caden Mackey round out the secondary in the 3-4 defense for the Griffins.
And we are ready to play football. Our kicker is Michael Mathern. That's a great story about Michael. We'll talk about that as the game progresses. I believe there was a whistle. Manuel Cardona actually kicked off. Pardon me.
Michael Mathern will do the extra point field goal. Looks like it's a penalty on the Griffins.
Yep. Offsides possibly.
Usually the case. Not a whole lot besides maybe you lose track of the time. There's a 25-second clock on kickoffs now.
Oh, they're not moving it back, so I think it may have just kicked off. I don't know.
Started it before they were supposed to start it.
I think they might have kicked off before the whistle.
Dutchtown usually sky kicks it. Be interesting to see if they change returners and move returners around based on where Dutchtown tries to kick it.
Basically the same spot, and a fair catch is called, and the Yellow Jackets will have it 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. They are a run-heavy football team. Again, they've been indecisive a little bit at quarterback between Horn and Goldman, and they've decided basically they did not have a decision until yesterday on who was going to play quarterback, and they've gone with Jerry Horn, a junior. He started as a freshman and as a sophomore. Things kind of got away from him a little bit in the early part of the season. He was benched in week 4, and he's got the starting job back once again.
A little bit of a polecat look.
Everybody goes in motion.
Look like Canada offense. Matt Canada, the Tigers.
Right. Handoff up the middle. Dances his way for 4, make it 3, and he gets to the 35-yard line.
Well, Coach Beer told you he wanted 3.5 yards cloud of dust, 3.5 times 3, trying to get 10 yards out of it.
That was number 31, Brendan Paul. We didn't expect Brendan Paul, the sophomore, to start things off, but he's out on the field early. 2nd down. Quick pitch again to Paul. Paul again, only the sophomore. Nice hit in the backfield.
Josh Lewis, number 98, and you will like this kid, Jimmy. The first time you see Dutchtown play Carter Hanbury. They have to figure out a way to run away from Carter. He makes plays. I interviewed him early in the season, called him the Dutchtown version of the Honey Badger, and he is just all over the field. You saw the tackle chart.
Yep.
And the scoring system that Dutchtown High uses, it's not surprising that he has the highest total of points.
Loss of 3 brings up 3rd and 9. Paul will come in motion, set up as a wide receiver on the near side. Dropping back is Jerry Horn, and Horn overshoots his receiver, and they will have to punt this one away.
Had a little fire on that ball.
Yeah, he did.
He had a chance, 2 big, tall receivers in the same area. Not sure who it was intended for. Special teams, one of the key aspects for Dutchtown. Throughout the season, the wins and losses, Riley deep. Talked to Coach Vito about it before the game. Just catch the football. Just catch the football.
Well, it has been a little up and down for him.
Blocked.
It's going to be blocked big time. Fallen on by the punter. And a great field position by the Dutchtown Griffins.
Here's the replay. Let's see who gets it. Carter Hanbury.
Yep.
Carter Hanbury.
Leading tackler on the team. Now he's got a block punt.
This adds to the list. I mean, nothing like when you tell somebody and it happens right before you.
Exactly right. So they'll have incredible field position at the Yellow Jacket 18-yard line. Big run down to the 5. 1st down.
Gary Dukes with a nice run. Good start. I thought that was a free play for him.
Well, good blocking by Dawson Davis, the right guard, along with Taylor Graham. Really cleared things out on the right side.
Talked about it earlier, that kick and wrap.
They almost jumped off sides to Denham Springs, but they got back just in time. You see the big tight end, Dylan DeSherry, right there as a wing. Handoff again. He's got a hole up the middle. It's number 4, Dukes. Dukes will push the pile to the 2.
Yeah.
Second and goal.
A little bit of story about Gary Dukes. You know, he filled in a Dutchtown High offense. Ethan Oquan, quarterback. Gary Dukes at running back. He and Lakedron Harvey will split time. Tyler Adams, Logan Mayo, and Casey McCarter, wide receivers. Dylan DeSherry, as mentioned earlier, the big tight end. The Monsters up front. Aiden Gaho, Jaden Green, Chase Candelosi, Dawson Davis, and Taylor Graham. The big hungers up front for the Griffins, trying to punch it in right here.
We'll catch the starting lineup for the defense if we have a minute. If not, we'll catch them on the next series. Here we go. Second and goal from the 3. Out of the shotgun is Oquan. Oquan hands off to Duke. Duke's got a big hole up the middle, pushes his way to the goal line. No signal as of yet. He's going to be about a half a yard shy. Good stop in the middle by Caden Davis, Kai Dwyron. Boom, right there. The linebackers met him. That was Dwyron.
He was close. He was close.
Basically the same play. Third and very, very short. Half a yard. Oquan calls for the football. Handoff off the right side. And it's Dukes. It was Dukes in 4 plays. All 4 plays. A 1-yard touchdown run for Gary Dukes. That's his 6th of the season.
Well, that was 24-yard drive by Gary Dukes right there.
18. Started on their 18-yard line. In 4 plays. Now this will be Mathern, who is in his 2nd game as kicker. This one goes through the uprights, and it is good. He was 4 for 4 last week and a 30-yard field goal. So a very early advantage on the mistakes by Denham Springs, and the Dutchtown Griffins take an early 7-0 lead. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of Dutchtown High School would like to thank SEC Heating and Cooling, Hollis Orthodontics, Tata Law Firm, Raising Cane's in Prairieville, Ross Downing, GMC, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation for their support of our sports medicine program.
Number 7.
Yeah, number 7 is Voorhees. And we're back. We're getting ready to kick it off. It'll be Cardona to do the honors. His 2nd kickoff of the afternoon, of the evening. 8:44 left to go in the first quarter. So glad you've joined us for Dutchtown and Denham Springs. Another sky kick, just as you said. They do it most of the time. They will take it at the 21-yard line. Chopped down. Number 3 was the guy that received it. That was Brian Hawkins.
Highland Rentz, junior DB, number 26 on the tackle.
Kickoff is returned to the 26-yard line.
So it'll be a 3-yard return, and they will take over 1st and 10 from the 26.
One in the NFL and college, you get it to 25. In college, you kick it in the end zone, you get to 20. So 26 ain't bad.
Nope.
When you're sky kicking it right there.
There's a good shot of the quarterback, the junior quarterback, 6'2", 185, Horn, handing off again to the sophomore Paul, and Paul will take it off the left side before being chopped down again by your man Joshua Lewis.
He had a vertical hole and looked like he ran for a lot more yards than he ultimately did. Dutchtown closed pretty quick as he ran left-right.
Well, I don't know if when you saw the replay, you saw Lewis basically shed his block like a dirty shirt. I mean, he just took him down. He was tangled up, and then he just got off of it and made the play. This time, it'll be a pass, a play action. It's hit as he throws. It's incomplete.
Blake Bowie and number 44, Cam Washington, on the pressure right there for the Griffins. Griffins do a good job in a lot of times bringing in what I would call a NASCAR package, Jimmy, on third down. It doesn't look like they have it here. They still got their standard front in there. Josh Lewis has a nice frame. He can put on 40 pounds. That's why he's gotten some early offers and looks for the next level.
Yeah, as a junior, getting some Power 5 offers. This brings up 3rd and long. It'll be 3rd and 7. Dropping back will be Horn. Horn finds his man. He does make the catch.
Number
that
11.
Was number 11. That was Peyton Puffer out of his halfback spot. So it'll bring up 4th down, and they'll have to punt this one away. So we'll see if they were able to get this one off. They were unable to do it earlier, and that's what set up the big touchdown for Dutchtown early.
I would think Dutchtown probably in a little bit of a safe defense.
This one does get off, and it's a pretty good punt. It will roll and stay in bounds and take a nice Yellow Jackets bounce to the 35-yard line. So that was a good boot.
Punt is out of bounds.
Definitely a little nervous. You get back there, and you got the first one blocked. Did a good job of getting it off. Starting defense for Denham Springs, number 99, Elijah Butler. Nose guard, Caden Davis. Darius Scott, Cedric Polk, Jonas Clark, and Kai Dwyron. And linebacker Trevor Lewis, the secondary, Mason Voorhees, Brian Hawkins, Rancher Miller, and Deshaun McBride for the Yellow Jackets.
McBride plays both ways, as does Voorhees. They say Voorhees is the best defender they have, even though we've got Deshaun McBride back there.
A little wildcat with Lakedron Harvey at quarterback. He's a trackster, Jimmy, and when he gets north and south, he's not going to get caught from behind too often.
No, in fact, he anchored the 4x1 that went to state earlier, last year actually, so he's fast as lightning. Anybody anchoring a 4x1 has got to be quick.
Well, now they switch it, and Gary Dukes is that quarterback.
And Dukes barrels his way across the 50 to the 47, make it the 42-yard line.
You know, that's a new wrinkle they put in. We haven't seen that. We've seen Carter Hanbury come in against Walker in the Wildcat, and he did that a couple weeks in a row, and this is the first look of having those two guys in the backfield.
Oakland's back in the ball game, along with Dukes in the backfield. Good shot right there, the quarterback, senior quarterback. So a handoff to Dukes. It's going to be an end around reverse to number 1.
Tyler Davis.
Tyler Davis.
Tyler Adams, I'm sorry.
Adams to the 10-yard line before being run out of bounds. Pickup of 32 yards. Beautiful run.
Tyler's probably their most dynamic wide receiver of the three, but they do a good job of spreading the ball around. Everybody kind of has their role.
We're just barely, we're not even to the halfway point of the quarter, and the Griffins are knocking at the door here for the second time. 1st and goal from just inside the 10. It's to Dukes. Dukes, a very patient runner, lets his blockers get in front of him. Still on his feet, dancing his way to the 5-yard line. Great balance that time for him to hang on.
Jimmy, this is the first time you see Gary. Gary took over last year for a guy that's playing on Saturday in Orange up in Knoxville, Dylan Sampson, the all-time leading rusher here at Dutchtown High School. Felt a little pressure and put the ball on the ground a few times, got in the doghouse. Later in the season, he got out of the doghouse and started carrying it like he just did.
Well, you saw him punish the middle linebacker, Kyle Dwyron, that time on the sidelines. This time it'll be a quarterback keeper, and Oakland's going to carry the ball to the 2, finally being brought down by Rancher Miller.
On the quarterback keeper. Gets it close to the 2. It'll be 30
Good blocking on the outside. Again, you see Dawson Davis and Taylor Graham.
Here's the heavy package coming in.
Yeah, there you see
Diego
Lewis.
Spears and Josh Lewis coming in with Carter Hanbury.
Man. I wouldn't want to even think about tackling one of those guys. Oakland drops the ball. He picks it back up. Luckily, it bounced back in his hands, and he is going to be swarmed. And you can see
That's the first time Carter's dropped a snap like that. I mean, you got to think he doesn't catch very many at practice, and that nobody feels worse than 22 on dropping a good snap. Gives Mike Mathern a chance to kick his second field goal of the season.
It'll be a 23-yard field goal from the right hash. Good snap. It is up and good. So he is perfect on extra points. He's perfect on field goals since taking over last week, and the Griffins take a 10-0 lead with 4:28 left to go in the quarter. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. You are watching the Rev Game of the Week. Back in a minute.
This baby will get your heart racing as much as your slick new devices do. Switch to REV. No contracts, no data caps, no nonsense. Just all fiber internet all the time. Build your plan at letsrev.com. Let's Rev. Internet speed so fast, you're going to need seatbelts for your sofa. Switch to REV. No contracts, no data caps, no nonsense. Just all fiber internet all the time. Build your plan at letsrev.com. Let's Rev.
Oh, it was 2. I thought it was 2.
We're going to kick it off real quick with Cardona. And Cardona will put his foot into it. As you expect, it's going to be another sky kick and not give those speedy return men much of a chance to return it, except we've got a good return here. As number 3, that's Brian Hawkins again, picks up a good return all the way to the 39-yard line. Let's take a look at the replay.
He put the ball on the ground at the last minute right there, and Denham was able to fall on it. No harm, no foul. I think they actually called him down. His elbow was down.
Thought so.
So did we give Tyler Adams credit for Caden Mackey's long run earlier?
Either way, it was a heck of a run. I think it was Mackey, though. That pass is incomplete. Again, Horn is just a little bit off. He's had thrown 3 passes, and he's been off on 2 of them. Just a low and short.
You know, at halftime, I'm going to get a chance to interview Coach Ricks. You and I were talking about it. Quarterbacks like starting pitches, got to get in the groove.
No doubt. And when you don't throw it a lot, it's hard to get into a rhythm. This time it will be Paul once again, bouncing off a couple of tacklers, but will be wrapped up across the 40-yard line, picks up 2. Again, I'm a little surprised we're seeing the sophomore so early this week. And a good tackle that time right in the middle by Mason Miles. Miles grabbed him by the ankles and didn't let go. Brings up 3rd down and 8. Out of the shotgun, Horn looking for somebody to throw to, going deep. Intended for his receiver number 6, Deshaun McBride, and McBride has the pass broken up. And I got to tell you, that was pretty good coverage by the cornerback, Riley.
Good coverage, good throw, right on the money. Trying to get McBride, the LSU commit.
Yep. They've been trying to get it in his hands more often. And same thing with Voorhees. Voorhees. 5:47 left to go in the Sanamaw game, and it's all knotted. Still no score, 0-0 in that one in the first quarter. We're going to give you updates on Sanamaw all night long. Fair catch called and taken for by Riley, and that's where the Griffins will take over 1st and 10 from their 27-yard line, from Denham Springs 27. Let's take a look at Week 8. Last week it was Dutchtown. We mentioned Dutchtown over Sanamaw pretty handily. East Ascension taking care of Denham Springs 24-10, and then Walker 41-9 over Live Oak. And Walker's just really played very, very well this season.
Mahaffey got him rolling. Uh-oh.
Wide open as he goes in motion to Haynes. Check that. Dukes. And Dukes will pick up 22.
You and I talked earlier on our first conversation, and I told you Oakland throws a catchable ball.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's not an easy route to throw. Matt Flynn made it look easy back in the day, but Oakland did a great job leading him in stride, catchable. Dukes can pick up a big gain.
First and 10 for the Griffins. Marching down the field once again. They have really not met much resistance so far. And this will be Dukes to the sideline picking up 3.
LaKeedron Harvey.
Oh, sorry. Harvey picks up 3.
Gains 3 to the 50. The second and 7 for the Griffins.
It'll be Rancher Miller jumping on his back and riding to the field, to the turf.
Hadn't seen Oakland look for Dylan DeShary yet. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go to him here if it's 2nd and 8 or 3rd and 8.
Harvey's in the backfield, and he will get the handoff coming to the right side. Tries to dance out of trouble and can't do so. Brought down by Brian Hawkins, and Hawkins makes a good open field tackle.
Nice play right there.
3rd and 7 for the Griffins.
Only picks up about a half a yard and the nose of the football touching the midfield stripe. 3rd down and 7 for the Griffins. Oakland calls for the football. It's again to Dukes. The same play we had earlier. He picks up 10 yards and moves the chains, crossing the 40-yard line to the 37.
You know, the only way that play can be successful, Jimmy, is if Casey McCoy, he's running his guy off or picking up a block. He and Mayo out there drawing attention and able to open up with just a little swing pass for 8 yards on the first down.
Dukes again flanking on the right. Quick pass across the middle, intended for number 3, Mayu, and he couldn't quite hang on to it. That ball was a little high. But still very, very, very catchable.
Yep, Mayo's hitting patting his chest. He's saying, my bad, right there. He'll tell you 99 times out of 100, throw it to me right there again.
A little RPO, he pulled it back and just saw a nice little skinny post, and it was there. It was open. 2nd and 10. Handoff to Dukes. Dukes again waiting for his blockers. Then he sees an opening and puts that foot in the ground and makes the cut. Picks up 3 or 4. Watch him just wait for it. He wait for it. And you've got your pulling guard and Jaden Green, and Jaden leads the way.
Yeah. Jaden looked like he's coming out. Kind of got, must have got landed on. He's jogging off the field okay.
England Phillips will check in for Green.
Sophomore.
Brings up 3rd down and 6. Again, RPO decides not to throw it, pulls it back himself. Oakland looking for an opening. Hits somebody at the 29, but it's not going to be enough for a 1st down.
I expect DUTCHTOWN to go for it right here. Good decision, because what he wanted to throw a little quick screen right there, and it was covered. He pulled it down, picked up a couple, made this a manageable 4th down and 3.
Miller came up and hit him, and a good job for Miller to kind of pull up just enough because he was out of bounds already, and he knew he didn't want to lay out Oakland out of bounds, pick up the 15-yard penalty.
Will they go to the swing pass, go?
It's worked very well, but, I mean, so is handing off to Duke's right. And they'll pull back, and there's that slant you talked about just a second ago, and Mayo nails it.
Right there, tough catch. 6, McBride draped all over him, and Mayo wasn't going to let that. Mayo wasn't going to let that happen again.
Well, that was an excellent catch, and he moves the chains, and it'll bring up 1st and 10 from the 23. Check that, 23. Whistle will blow.
And that's the end of the first quarter, ladies and gentlemen. Your score, Dutchtown.
That ends the first quarter. The Dutchtown Griffins leading 10-0. And we will take a quick break. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll have your second quarter in just a bit. 10-0 the score. The Griffins leading Denham Springs. Back after this on the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of Dutchtown High School would like to thank SEC Heating and Cooling, Hollis Orthodontics, Tata Law Firm, Raising Cane's in Prairieville, Ross Downing, GMC, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation for their support of our sports medicine program.
And we're back as Dutchtown has really controlled this early going in this football game. Let's take a look at the Division I non-select power rankings, and you've got them right here. Walker's at number 5. Dutchtown's number 6. You got Santa Monica number 9. Live Oak is 23. East Ascension right on the bubble at 30. And then Denham Springs at 37.
Well, if Dutchtown and Walker, nobody loses going forward, it could be a 4-5, which puts you in a quarterfinal matchup of who goes to the semis, and that would be a heck of a football game.
Wow, you're not kidding. So they switch into the field, looking for somebody to throw to. Hums it down to the end zone and just basically throws it away. He throws it out of the end zone and couldn't find anybody. That was a heads-up play for him because he just couldn't find anybody that wasn't covered.
Oakland has done a good job. Jimmy, you've seen him a couple series now make some very good decisions with the football and doesn't turn it over very often. He'll tuck it and run it and has the ability and gives them another chance. Big keys to the game is Dutchtown high turnovers, and that stops one right there.
Elijah Butler had broken through and putting some pressure on him. Some running room that time for Dukes, and Dukes will take it across the 20.
Dukes picks up a couple.
It was a direct snap to Dukes. We've seen it a couple of times.
I don't know if that's called or they're letting Dukes read that. That'd be an interesting question for Coach Janis, the OC. Really doing a good job. You can see him getting more and more comfortable every year that he's here as the OC.
Jonas Clark made that stop, by the way. Outside linebacker for Denham Springs. 3rd down for the Griffins. Quick pitch to the 15. Slung out of bounds by McBride, and McBride violently put him on the turf.
That'll make it 4th and short. Let's see if they go with the heavy package. They'll keep it in.
Quick update on the Live Oak score. They have a 2-0 lead going into the second quarter.
2-0.
Got a safety there.
Well, that could be a World Series score right now.
Maybe
too.
so.
Local boy Josh Smith trying to get himself a World Series championship with the Rangers.
Of course, Live Oak playing East Ascension.
Nice run.
Oakland. Gets the ball down to the 10-yard line. 1st and goal, Griffin.
They pick up the 1st down on Oakland's run. This is the 9th play of this drive. Started back at their own 27. So they can hit the big hitters, but they can also methodically move down the field, which is we've seen here on this drive.
Well, the only way you can be successful like that is, a lot of people don't like to play offense with 9, 10, 12 plays because you're afraid of a mistake, but Oakland doing a good job of guiding the offense.
Looks over to the sideline to make sure he's got the right play in.
He got hit a yard short, Jimmy, and we talked about him running that offense, and he made a heck of a run last week against Santa Monica.
Straight up the gut. It's going to be Oakland to the 5, and he's going to be ridden to the turf by number 1. That's Rancher Miller.
Oakland
Well, I thought he was going to break it that time. Rancher really closed on him quickly.
Yeah, I think if he cuts back, there was a hole to the inside. I don't know if you saw it or not, but he decided to bounce it a little bit. He'll take second and goal from the 5, though, maybe the 6.
Hand off to Harvey. Harvey's got a hole up the middle. The offensive line clears everybody else. Everybody out, and he is untouched for a big touchdown with 9:01 to go in the half.
Touchdown making it look easy on offense, Jimmy.
Yes, they are.
Denham Springs 0-3 in district, and if something doesn't change, they're going 0-4, so they'll have some soul searching to do. That's Mike Mathern on the
he is 6 for 6 since coming on as a kicker.
He makes solid contact, and that's what you want. If you make solid contact as a kicker, you can make adjustments if you're missing right or left.
Absolutely. Oh, we got some scoring updates real quick. I want to let you know. We just said that Live Oak was up 2-0. Now it's 7-2. East Ascension has taken the lead at 11:11 left to go in the first half.
Refresh my memory on where EA sat with PowerPoints. I mean, they're
30.
30. So they gotta win this week,
right?
And maybe the big game against parish rival next week against Dutchtown. Dutchtown will be trying to play for maybe a bye because the top 4 get a bye.
Yeah.
And East Ascension will be playing for their life just to get in the playoffs.
But still, they have life. Cardona puts his foot into it. This time he boots it a little bit further than he has in the last few. Bobbled, dropped it, and he's laid out. Just leveled.
You want to know who made the tackle? Nope. It wasn't called a hand barrier.
No, it was number 20. 28.
Down at the 20-yard line where the Yellow Jackets are.
Riker Rogers.
Riker, he's had 2 big hits on special teams.
I think they kick into a specific guy.
Yep.
And
Hawkins.
So you don't have to kick it that deep. You just got to kick it where you want it, and that's a good job. Inside the 20.
Up the middle, goes nowhere. The Griffins just swarm him.
Gets a couple. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Josh Lewis, first one there. Denham Springs, do they have a first? I don't think they have a first down yet.
They do not. They have punt. They've had 3 series on offense, and they've punted, and they've been 3 and out on all 3. Brings up 2nd and 8. Dropping back is Horn. Horn decides to pull it down and run for it, and he goes nowhere. And Horn is chopped down by Mason Miles, the inside linebacker. He's got 22 tackles on his year coming into this one.
Gets up to the 35.
I got to hand it to that was a coverage. That was just playing coverage downfield.
Well, he and Baker had big shoes to fill because one of their linebackers from last year is traveling and dressing out with Tulane and getting some time.
Horn will roll to his right. Throwing down the field, a long one, looking for McBride. McBride, pass broken up, no flag on the play. Tremendous effort, just a little bit underthrown. If you get it out there a little bit more, McBride takes that one to the house.
Yeah, well, the quarterback, he needs some help. McBride's the defensive back, so you got to learn to adjust on that ball while it's in the air, slow down, maybe force that interference call and help your offense, help your defense out by getting a first down via pass interference call.
It was Jeremy Jackson on the coverage. So, again, another 3 and out for Denham Springs. He gets it away, and it's a boomer, a nice one. It'll be collected by Riley. Riley stiff-armed, but he is slung down, and the Griffins will take over from their own 45-yard line. Again, great field position.
The second quarter of tonight's ball game brought to you by Snow's Seafood and Steakhouse, conveniently located right on Highway 74. Snow's has been live in the community for the past 50 years.
Take a look, if we can, at the top 10 in Class 5A.
Seafood platters and seared fillets and ribeyes.
As we head into week 9, Edna Carr, number 1, Destrehan Zachary, followed by Ruston, Karen Crow, John Curtis. Baton Rouge's Catholic High is 7, and you got Brother Martin, Acadiana, and East St. John in there as well, your top 10 in 5A. Heading into week 9, this will be Dukes. Dukes will turn the corner, but not by much, and he is met hard by Hawkins and Jonas Clark.
East St. John, number 10, Jimmy. I think their only losses to Destrehan. That top 10 is strong.
Yeah. Loss of a yard on the play, and that's the first time Dukes has lost yardage all night.
Didn't lose much. You probably wish the referee would have at least given forward progress right there. That's probably a point thing on that scoring.
Well, I'll tell you, Jonas Clark was right there to say good morning. There's that patient running, waiting for the hole to develop by Dukes, and he takes it to the Griffin motif and finally brought down.
A bobble on the handoff. Good job of Dutchtown holding on to it.
Brings up third down. We haven't had too many third downs for the Griffins. 3rd and 7. 3rd and 6, really.
A little different version of the double slot look right here. Out the gun.
Oquan calls for the football, looking for somebody to throw to, steps into his pass, finds his man wide open, down to the 25-yard line. That was number 2, Tyler Adams. Beautiful pass by Oquan. You've said it many times, but he has been so accurate.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of postseason awards he'll get, but he's exactly what Dutchtown needs in their offense.
He's the leading receiver coming into the ball game with 7 catches for 205. Again, a wide open receiver. Oh my gosh, Oquan wishes he had that one back.
Well, there's an example you and I talked earlier. I said from hash mark to outside the numbers, and that's a long throw for a high school quarterback, and just overthrows DeSherry.
First time we've seen DeSherry being targeted. He's a 6'5", 230-pound senior.
He's got some offers.
Southland Conference schools, some others like that. So he's gonna play somewhere next year. He's their 3rd leading receiver coming into the ball game with 15 catches and 3 touchdowns. Brings up 2nd and 10. This time they'll hand it off to Dukes. Dukes will pick his way between the big boys to the 20-yard line before being ridden to the turf by Rancher Miller. Rancher's been all over the field.
Dukes gets to the 19-yard line. You'll bring a 3rd and 4 for the Griffins.
I don't know if it's a good thing when your DB is being called that much.
Right. Well, yeah. Brings up 3rd down and 3. Sixth play of the drive, which started back at the 45-yard line. Give you a scoring update after this play on the East Ascension Live Oak game. Hand off to Duke. Duke. Check that. That was Harvey. I should know better because Harvey's such a straight-ahead, pounding runner.
Not a whole lot of wiggle when he runs.
I said I was going to give you a scoring update, but it's even more up to date. With 8:28 left to go in the half, East Ascension has taken a 21-2 lead. Just a few seconds ago, it seemed like it was 14-2. Now it's 21-2 East Ascension. Darnell Lee's squad doing pretty well tonight so far. This is a handoff right up the middle. Nowhere to go. Nobody touches him. It's Tyler Adams on the end around, and it's a big scamper from 15 yards out.
That's a different look. We haven't seen that out of that power package.
I mean, he was untouched.
Well, tendencies say Dutchtown's going to snap it to Carter Hanbury, and he's going to run right behind the power guys on the right side. And that time they brought the ball back left.
PAT is
good.
Good. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will have more of this great football game. 24-0 is the score. 4 minutes left to go here in the first half. Back right after this on the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of DUTCHTOWN High School would like to thank SEC Heating and Cooling, Hollis Orthodontics, Tata Law Firm, Raising Cane's in Prairieville, Ross Downing, GMC, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation for their support of our sports medicine program.
55-yard drive in 7 plays, capped off by a 15-yard scamper by number 2, Tyler Adams. We have got one heck of a halftime interview, which you're going to be talking to Patrick Ricks, who is the volleyball coach here at Denham Springs. At DUTCHTOWN. What an incredible opportunity it is to talk with him.
The district champion, Patrick Ricks.
That's right. And we will learn more about his volleyball program coming up. Again, this is Hawkins on the return. Looked like the ball popped through.
I thought I saw it too, Jimmy. I'll take a look at the replay and see where that ball.
But it looks like the Yellow Jackets will retain possession. Must have been somebody's leg that we saw, because I don't see a football.
I agree with you. Didn't see it in the replay.
But I certainly thought I saw it, just like you did.
I thought I saw something. I mean, I got readers and binoculars, so maybe I need more.
Hey, real quick, we've got a scoring update. 7:30 left to go in the second quarter. We'll tell you more about that in a second for Santa Maria. This was going deep, and it's incomplete. Horn can't connect with number 11, Peyton Puffer.
Caden Mackey, safety on the coverage.
I got to tell you, these DBs have been covering these receivers pretty well tonight. I know Coach Mistretta feels like the strength of his defense is in the interior and in the line, but the DBs have been playing pretty well on the outside and right up the gut.
Well, they were breathing. He was feeling pressure again. They didn't get to him,
right,
but he was under pressure.
This time Horn's going to pull it down, throws hard right off the hands of his intended receiver, and, man, he throws a bullet. That was to Voorhees, Mason Voorhees, number 7, and it was behind him a little bit, but he was being chased for his life again.
Well, we talked about Oakland throwing the football, and now you're looking at the youngster on the other side, doesn't quite have the, 2 years from now, that ball is going to be totally different for him than it is tonight.
Well, he was chased by Diego Spears, and we haven't talked much about Diego, but best defensive lineman, getting lots of looks. The strongest guy on this team, and maybe the strongest guy in DUTCHTOWN history, according to Coach Mistretta, and looking at the lifts in the weight room. Again, rolling out, hard throw, finds McBride. McBride is going to be met immediately, and he goes down hard.
McBride to the 35-yard line. It'll bring us 4th and 4.
Number 5 on the stop. That was Chad Smith. And they'll have to punt it away again. This is the 5th series that they've had to punt. 3 and out.
3:26, man. Denham Springs does not want DUTCHTOWN to get in the end zone again, and that's plenty of time. DUTCHTOWN can cover 60 yards in a hurry.
Riley set to receive the kick. Bringing it again. They don't quite get it, but it will be taken by Riley. Riley will take it at the 32-yard line. Being drug out of bounds that time by number 19, Kai Dwyron. So, again, great field position, a short field, and you're right. DUTCHTOWN can put this football in the end zone again before halftime.
Well,
timeout on the field.
The Brock Foundation, Peak Physical Therapy, along with our partners.
Denham Springs hasn't applied any pressure to DUTCHTOWN, and Coach Janis, he has his whole play sheet the whole entire game on what he can call trick plays, run his offense, whatever he wants. And Denham Springs needs something positive to happen, a turnover, a stop, something to go into halftime to have something encouraging to talk about.
Hand off to Dukes. Dukes somehow breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet. Looked like he was going to be strung out and lose a couple of yards, but he got back to the original line of scrimmage. Or at least very close to it. But watch him. He tries to probe inside and then pops back out, and then somehow he doesn't lose any yardage.
He got a block from somebody on the edge, and I thought he was going to turn the corner and wasn't able to get there.
The one thing about this game is we have, and I don't want to jinx anybody, but it's been a very clean half of football.
It's going by fast.
We have not seen any penalties, no yellow flags.
45 minutes into it, it's almost halftime.
Make wholesale substitutions here for Denham Springs, and we're ready to rock and roll. Clock rolling with 2:24 left to go in the half. 2nd and 10. Dropping back is Oakland. Oakland's looking for it all on one play. Oh, he just can't quite get his man, Logan Mayu, just overthrown.
Wow, that was
pass intended for me.
Good protection that time. He was able to step into the throw and really get it down there and just missed his man. That's about the only pass that we've seen him be off the mark with.
Yeah, a little more air under it. A little more air under it. And Mayo could have run under it. And he's checking some turf burns from that dive on the sideline right there.
Man, but it's a lot better than the old AstroTurf we used to play on, huh?
Ooh.
Concrete with a carpet on top of it. This time Oakland's got some time, but then the pocket collapses on him and he will be sacked.
That's a big series for Denham right there. Talked about they needed something positive.
Nose guard Caden Davis is the one that actually gets the sack, but it was a combination effort for the Denham Springs Yellow Jacket defensive line.
And along with help from the secondary, good coverage. Doesn't allow Ethan. Ethan doesn't risk it, though. He realizes, hey, 24-0. I hold on to the football, we punt, and we can go into halftime 24-0 and not 24-7.
Casey McCoy, the district leading punter, averaging 36.9 yards per punt, will do the honors. And a timeout is called by the Griffins.
Timeout, DUTCHTOWN. The second quarter of tonight's ball game is brought to you by Snow Seafood and Steakhouse.
We'll take a look. We haven't really done this, although we've been talking about the games that are being played tonight around the district. And we've already mentioned that East Ascension and Live Oak are battling it out, and we've got an update on that with 5 minutes left to go in the half. 28-2 in that one for East Ascension. And also Sanamaw is leading 14-0 with 4:01 left to go. Of course, Sanamaw battling Walker, so that would be a huge victory for Sanamaw.
Huge for DUTCHTOWN, huge for Sanamaw. Walker may have the East Ascension schools right where they want them, though, because they were down 14-0 or 20-0 to DUTCHTOWN and scored right before the half, and it kind of gave them the momentum going in the half.
Well, the one thing that DUTCHTOWN can't do is take their foot off the gas and ease up in the second half, and that's kind of what happened last year. And I know that Coach Guy Mastretta and his staff is not going to let that happen tonight.
Well, that will definitely be part of the discussion at halftime.
A booming punt by McCoy, and this is his first year to punt, and a fair catch is called for at the 19-yard line.
Punt is fair caught.
And that was Voorhees on the reception or on the return.
McCoy's gotten better. He struggled early in the year, first year punting. He's an athlete, baseball player, shortstop, UL commit on that in that realm. And while you saw the potential, he's been a little bit more consistent the last 3 weeks. One bad punt last week led to a score. Besides that, that's been the results more times than not the last 3 weeks.
Well, the one thing that this score has forced the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets to do, and that is get out of their comfort zone and throw the football. They're a running football team, and that's what they would like to do, but now they simply can't do that. They have to throw the football.
Yeah, well, he's throwing missiles. There's no doubt. The quarterback may be a pitcher because he can certainly let it rip, but
Ethan Knuckles was the intended receiver there, number 21. Catch is made, and that was Voorhees.
Dutchtown's okay with that clock running a minute.
Pass complete.
They can catch it.
26 will be 3rd and 5.
Good tackle by Jeremy Jackson, free safety. Low snap that time. Horn, again, you're right, throwing missiles again to Voorhees, and they'll get their first down of the night as they cross the 30-yard line to the 34.
Their first down at the 35.
42 seconds to go. They'll run the clock, and they'll clock it there.
I don't think the timeouts on the scoreboard. Has Denham Springs used it? Do you recall a timeout?
Thought they didn't. No, I don't know. Yeah, DUTCHTOWN used one. I'm not sure Denham has. 39 seconds to go in the half.
Was that their first down?
That was their first down. Dropping back, a little bit of time this time, going deep. Trying to find Voorhees. Voorhees can't catch up to it, or a little bit off the mark. Again, well defended by Jeremy Jackson.
Pass is incomplete, refs.
You know, right before the half, 14 seconds left to go, and Dutchtown's only loss. Walker went up top and scored, and they kept going to the deep ball, and I expect Denham to probably go up top again right here, trying to get a big play before the half and try to get something on the scoreboard.
East Ascension is starting to blow things out in the first half against Walker, 35-2.
Live Oak again.
Excuse me, Live Oak, sorry. Live Oak, East Ascension, homecoming game for them. Oh, hit as he throws and is almost intercepted by Caden Mackey, playing a deep center field. But good pressure up the middle. Again, that's Joshua Lewis. I really kind of thought he batted the ball down. He was so much in his face. And they're going to have to punt it again. 6 offensive possessions, 6 punts.
1 first down.
1 first down. I would have to credit a pretty good defense so far for Dutchtown.
Chris Howard does a good job, Jimmy. As a former DC, you know, you always kind of rank yourself, and shoot, he's doing a heck of a job for the Griffins.
On the bounce.
I think he called fair catch, and then the ball hit the ground. I don't know the rule on that. I don't know the rule if you can run it after a fair catch and the ball hits the ground or not.
We'll get our research team on that.
19 seconds left to go, Jimmy. I get to talk to Patrick Ricks in a few minutes, and then also the Dutchtown Sound. They'll be competing next week. As always, UL puts their band, they host like the state band competition the weekend of LSU, Alabama. I don't think that's a coincidence. But the Griffins, Sheila Bell and the crew, I mean, she loves marching festivals and competition more so than she does Friday nights, I think.
I'll tell you, they have such a strong presence out here and really get this crowd going. Wouldn't be the same without marching bands at high school or college games. Swing pass this time a little bit tall for Dukes.
Probably not a bad thing. That ball was a little bit overthrown. I'll be surprised if Coach Mastretta doesn't tell him, hey, let's kneel on it right here.
Yeah.
He just walked past him.
Dukes will come out. Harvey will go in. Great picture right there of your tight end, DeSherry. 6'5", 230. Dropping back. Forget about kneeling it. They're going for it all. And he finds his man, Mayu. Mayu down to the 27-yard line. 8 seconds to go in the half. Forget about pulling off on this one. And a flag will fly late.
Denham Springs has to hope that's not against them, because that'll.
They'll be kneeling it, huh?
No, well, they don't want it. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Oh, Dutchtown.
Initial call is unsportsmanlike against Dutchtown.
Yep.
See if there is offsetting by chance, and there is not. So that'll back him up 15 from the point of from the spot of the foul. It will be a first down with only 8 seconds to go in the first half.
It gives you a chance to work on something. Maybe you throw I don't know what Mathern's range is. If you can get a 15-yard out right here and run out of bounds at the 25-yard line, get a chance for a 42-yard field goal. I think he can go 40.
Timeout for the Griffins. So we have seen all kinds of things in this first half, and it's just really been all Griffins in this first half.
All Griffins. I said Neely because you're thinking about the series before that was the only series that Denham Springs forced a punt. That was McCoy's first punt.
Right.
And then we threw that swing pass right there, and overthrew it with some pressure, and the clock kind of winding down, but. Mayo was open earlier on a similar route, and Oquan overthrew him, but not that one. It was right on the money.
Right on the money.
A nice, pretty catchable deep ball.
Big halftime interview. Patrick Ricks coming up. Our Dutchtown volleyball coach, district champs, had a big win on Wednesday against East Ascension. And I'm looking forward to the in-depth questions you're going to ask. 1st and 10 for the Griffins.
I just hope he answers.
All the way down, looking for number 2. And incomplete.
That was Tyler Adams, an intended receiver. Dylan DeShary was in the middle of the field, right at that line that goes across the field on TV, field goal range, and Ethan decided to go up top to try to get a big one, threw it in double coverage.
Well, he's got 1 second left. He's got one more shot here in the half. I mean, I love throwing to the tight end. I just think I would like to see DeShary catch one and lumber his way in, see how far he can go. Dumps it off, and it's hit as he throws. He was pressured by Elijah Butler, and that will do it for the first half of play. And what a first half it has been. Ascension Parish is dominating across the board tonight. East Ascension, Sanama, and Dutchtown doing a tremendous job here so far in the first half. As we head to the locker room, the Griffins lead 24-0 over Denham Springs. We'll be back right after this. A great interview with Pat Ricks coming up in just a second. Don't go anywhere, folks. More to come on the Rev Game of the Week.
REV Business started small in 1935. We built our reputation by providing hometown service with Louisiana hustle. For nearly 90 years, we've expanded across our great state, through the swamps and across the Mississippi, bringing fiber optics from the capital to the North Shore, all to connect your business with the world. REV is about big business technology with small business personal service. For a limited time, get up to $300 off business services. Call or visit us today at letsrev.biz.
The best way to recruit for at-home tailgating is Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin. All of the 5 stars are at Chris's Specialty Foods. Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
Welcome back. It's halftime here at Griffin Field. Dutchtown leads 24-0 over the Yellow Jackets. You're going to be watching halftime performance with the the Denham Springs Yellow Jacket band.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Denham Springs Jacket Pride Band and the Jackettes Dance Team.
Hey, Patrick Email, that was the DUTCHTOWN, correction, that's the second time I say that, the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets, and I don't know their name, but maybe the Jackettes dancing right there. Find them. I'm joined by the district champion head volleyball coach for the DUTCHTOWN Griffins, Patrick Ricks, my brother from another mother, man. I appreciate you joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I enjoy your barber. I see him on a daily basis. So, Pat, man, I really don't even know where to start because I feel like I should have talked to you 2 months ago, but here we are at the end of the season, and I don't want to say the end of the season because you have a vision for more things to come. Yes. But I kind of want to run through the season thus far with you. You know, I think back and think, man, you've had so much success year after year going deep into whether it's going to the Hilario Center or whether it's going to Lafayette for they call it the top 28 in volleyball.
It's just state tournament. There's no official name for it.
No official name, just the state tournament. Yeah. And so you've had success year after year. Do you have a meeting with your team like in the off season before the season starts and kind of discuss that, or you kind of wash it? How you approach that?
We meet as a team and individually with the girls and discuss what our goals are for the year, and kind of come up with a plan of how to achieve that goal. It's kind of like have a map and try to get down that road every once in a while, hopefully.
Well, I mean, sometimes those one-on-ones are not too easy, but it's pretty obvious when it's a little easier when you know where you're going, you have a track record of being there, the girls kind of fall in line with the expectations?
Yeah, they definitely do. We've kind of set up a set of core values for the program, and the girls kind of buy into it. It's really nice to see, especially the seniors, hold everybody else accountable for for following those core values.
And the seniors, you've established your program such that the seniors understood as sophomores that their job was to help the seniors get to where they get to. So that if that continues to build in your program.
Yeah, it definitely does. It's kind of one of the ways we've been able to have sustained success over the last few years is that, all of the kids, prepare in the program as sophomores, juniors, and seniors to help us get, to the next step.
You've lost so many great players over the years. They just fall in line playing at the college level. And if memory serves me correctly, the last couple years – you started a little bit slow because, Patrick Ricks, when he schedules, he doesn't go to the last three in the strength of schedule type. He's starting with the creme de la creme at the top of this. So how did you handle that early in the season? Is it a feeling out process? How did your girls respond?
They generally respond well. Like you said, the last couple of years we've started off. I think we won our first one this year and lost our next one this year, and it's just a test for the girls. It's like you tell them we want to get to the next step, which is getting to the semifinals, and then the finals. We have to play the kind of teams that we play early on to see where we stand and measure ourselves up against them.
The little bit of a little hiccup. You're 29 and 7.
Yes.
So half of those losses kind of came in the first couple of weeks of the season, if my memory serves me.
Yes.
So I'm looking at DUTCHTOWN's volleyball program kind of like Alabama. They lost to Texas early in the season. And, there's a kink in the armor there. But here you are, district championship with East Ascension Wednesday night.
Yeah, those losses were against really good teams. We lost it to St. Joseph's. We lost to St. Michael's. And then we've had a couple losses against Dominican and Archbishop Hannon, like defending state champions in a division. So we play a tough schedule, and hopefully it builds us, to get ready to make a run in the playoffs.
You kind of touched on it already that you've been here a long time. I think since the school opened.
The third year.
Third year. Yes. And then you continue to build that the program the right way. You and I talk often about the little things matter. But you've gone from being the hunter to a little bit of being the huntee. How's that approach different?
We're kind of. It's kind of funny because we're kind of right. I think, in my opinion, we're right below those upper tier Dominican, Mount Carmel type teams, and so we're still hunting them. But we have that group below us that's coming to get us too. So it's interesting that we gotta be looking ahead, but also have our rear view, checking the rearview mirror every once in a while.
Speaking of being hunted, you were hunted by East Ascension Wednesday night, down 0-2, come back and win 3-2, and I talked to Jimmy a little bit about it tonight. It takes a little while sometimes for a quarterback to kind of get in the groove, maybe a starting pitcher to get in the groove, and you hang on, and once they get past the first inning, then look out, he's going 7 innings. And seemed like last night or Wednesday night, some of your best players, one of the all-district, all-metro type of player, was struggling early on.
Yeah, we kind of struggled. East Ascension did a really good job preparing for us. I'd seen them play the night before, and they were a completely different team. Like, they were ready to play. The crowd was egging them on. And, it took us a little while to get our feet under us. I think once we did that, in the third set, we kind of were able to settle in and play a little bit better volleyball.
Does it make you nervous? Because you got to be willing to kind of let them feel it out a little bit. A couple times I saw you start to call the timeout, and then you pull back. Has that grown in your years as a head coach? You feel like you're more disciplined not to call that head coach? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of tell the girls that during the week, during practice, it's kind of like me teaching a class, and then on the match night, it's like them taking a test. It's kind of, you got to let them take the test and answer some questions, and you see them kind of struggle sometimes, and you want to help, but you're like, y'all got to answer this question right. If it's something that I see them struggling with, then I'll step in, call a timeout, pull the kid on the side. But for the most part, I really try to let them dig themselves out of holes as much as possible.
Well, I tell my kids, you want game day to be hard, or you want practice to be hard. And so we got to do things in the classroom that so when they get to the test, that the test is easier than that. Wednesday night was not only the big game against East Ascension, but it was Pink Game. You have been always a proponent of promoting the Pink Game. Can you talk about that a little bit?
I have a friend of mine, that a high school friend that had breast cancer when we got a little bit older, and I wanted to show her some support whenever we had the opportunity to, and we started the match with Sanoma, I think, at the time. And, it's kind of just grown, and now we do it with East Ascension. We've raised a ton of money and support for Mary Bird Perkins, and it's something that's near and dear to my heart.
Nice. And then we were both in pink Wednesday night, but one a little darker pink. Did you get to pick what pink you wanted?
I actually designed both uniforms, so I think I like that color whenever we ordered our color, whenever we got ours, and then whenever East Ascension asked for something, I was able to find something a little bit lighter for them. I think with that blue, I think it kind of looked really good with it.
Well, we need to get the pregame shirts a little different color, because I was completely lost on which one were the Griffins and which one were the Spartans. Last night was senior night, last regular season game. Beat Newman 3-0. An outstanding program. I think they were ranked number 1 in power rankings in their division. Talk about senior night and your seniors.
It was a great night. We've got a fantastic group of seniors. We've got 10 seniors that play, and then one manager that does a fantastic job for me. And it's always tough telling them goodbye and seeing them play that last home match. But we still have some work to do. Some meat on the bone. We're going to try to keep them playing for as long as we can.
You made the look. I got goosebumps in my arms, because when you talk, you spend 4 years with them. Yeah. They like your kids, and I think about mine. The one that last year I cried for a week straight, I think, in the classroom, and while you can't be that emotional as a coach, there is a special bond with all of your classes as a coach. And so we find out Sunday the seeding. When do we find out the seeding?
The official seedings come out Monday, I think by 10 Monday morning.
And we're looking at a 4 or 5.
We're trying. We're in a tournament this weekend. We're trying to push to 3. 3 would be a good place for us, but it looks like we're going to probably go 4 or 5, which you just try to match up and play the best you can.
What's the top three looking like? Is Dominican 1?
Right now, Dominican is 1, Mount Carmel is 2, and Sam Houston out of Lake Charles is number
Have
3.
we played those 3 teams already?
We've played Dominican and lost to them twice. The last time was really close. I think we're getting a little closer to them. And we played Sam Houston in our tournament in September and actually beat them. So, I think in this year there's probably 5 or 6 teams that have a realistic chance of getting to the finals. Dominican's probably a little bit higher than everybody else, but there's about 6 of us that have a legit, in my opinion, a chance to get in there.
I'm short on names on some of your players, but watch number 22, one of your big girls in the middle. She seems to be one of the keys for you going to get to where you want to get to in the state tournament.
Yeah, Zoe Lacaze, she brings the energy and the heart to the team. When she's excited and she plays to the level she's capable of, she's tough to handle. So we look to her for that.
We're here tonight to kind of sell your program. What am I missing? What do we know outside of the kids? You got the program growing. 40 kids in your program right now?
38, yeah.
38?
Yeah.
Man, that's a pretty good guesstimate right there. Round to that. And I know they work 12 months out the year. Whatever you ask, Coach Ricks, as Coach Ricks said. And I know you're willing to kind of Brian Kelly, discipline him, which is you got to hold him accountable to that. So congrats to you to be able to continue to do that in 2023, well, when that can be challenging, dealing with kids. And man, we are absolutely pulling for you. We brought Porsche to the game, so now he's 1-1 because we brought him to UL. So we had to get a win, get the jinx out the way, so we can bring him back to go to UL in a couple weeks. And I know Coach Ricks will tell me one match at a time, and we'll find out. First one will be home.
Yes.
Wednesday, Thursday.
It should be Wednesday or Thursday, and then I think the other one has to be played by Saturday, and we should be home for both. Being in the top 8, you get to play both games at home.
Well, that's awesome. Start time traditionally.
The first one normally is about 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then if it's on a Saturday, it's typically 10, 11 o'clock.
Got to get it out the way before
Yes.
before that big game in the evening, so you can have some. It's my pleasure. I know you would rather me be talking to your seniors right here. I know you just kind of stand there and you give where to hit the serve at. I watched that, but hey, kudos to you. I haven't checked the records. I haven't compared it all on paper to the soccer program and the football program and the baseball program, but my memory and what my brain tells me is volleyball at DUTCHTOWN High is unmatched with their success and over the years and what you got it. And if the volleyball was split like football and baseball are split, you'd probably have 4 state championships under your belt right now. Nobody does it better. I got to get you off of here because we got the Griffin girls coming up, man, and we're going the brother from another mother got to watch his daughter from another mother on the field today. Congrats. Good luck the rest of the way, Coach. Good luck this weekend in the tournament. And we'll see you at home Wednesday probably.
Thank you so much for having me.
Patrick Ricks, district champion of the DUTCHTOWN High Lady Volleyballs. Now you're going to continue watching the DUTCHTOWN Sound and the Griffin girls.
Gryffindor. You may be enjoyed tonight's performance. If you wish to see the DUTCHTOWN Fans last performance, the band will also be performing their competition show at Cajun Field in Lafayette.
REV Business started small in 1935. We built our reputation by providing hometown service with Louisiana hustle. For nearly 90 years, we've expanded across our great state, through the swamps and across the Mississippi, bringing fiber optics from the capital to the North Shore, all to connect your business with the world. REV is about big business technology with small business personal service. For a limited time, get up to $300 off business services. Call or visit us today at letsrev.biz.
The best way to recruit for at-home tailgating is Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, briskets, steak, and boudin. All of the 5 stars are at Chris's Specialty Foods. Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
Looking for an extraordinary education opportunity? Introducing Ascension Public School's Early College Option Program, where you can earn a high school diploma and an associate's degree from River Parishes Community College at the same time. Experience the best of both worlds as high school seamlessly blends with college coursework in a rigorous yet supportive program. Yet stay connected to your home high school through clubs, organizations, and sports. And here's the best part. Students pay no tuition or textbook cost. Ascension Public School's Early College Option Program, where your future begins today.
Welcome back, everybody, and what a tremendous interview that was. Thank you, Patrick Email, for that one with Patrick Ricks. I mean, what an inspirational coach, and as you said, he's got a great program, and his volleyball program at Dutchtown continues to grow and continues to just excel, which is awesome to see.
Just as humble as they get, and has no reason to be humble, in all honesty,
right.
When you're one of the last of the non-select schools standing on a regular basis at the state tournament. I mean, kudos to him and the girls that continue to step up, because one right off the top of my head is Alexis Lagarbo. She's playing at Southeastern, who beat LSU, and LSU's volleyball program's pretty good.
Yeah. Let's take a look real quick at the last 5 seasons for the Dutchtown Griffins. In 2022, last year, they made it to the regionals, went 7-4. The year before that, by district, they were 5-5. In the COVID year, 6-2 with the regionals. In 2019, 8-3, lost in the by district round. And in 2018, 5-6, lost in the by district round. This year, I think the skies could be the limit here with Dutchtown. I mean, they have dominated this half of football like I have not seen another team dominate so far in this season.
In 4 quarters, the second half last week against Sanamo, and the first 2 quarters of this game is the best 4 quarters that Dutchtown has put together. You know, they're 6-1. We talked about that PowerPoint sitting at 6, and the reason why we haven't made it to the quarters is because we were a 15 seed.
Right.
And so you're 15 or 16, and you beat a 17, and then round 2 you're playing Destrand, the number 1 seed. So you're trying to get out of that and face those top 4. We saw the top 10. I mean, you're talking about the likes of Zachary and Rustin and Carr, and Carr is going to be on the select side, but the rest of those are going to be on the non-select side.
Well, I'm very impressed with this defense, and Coach Mistretta said that the defense was going to be a strength, but the defense in 7 series forced 7 punts. Only 1 first down allowed. We're going to swap into the field. Kind of got a little sideways there.
Well, Dutchtown started the game kicking from our left to right, so got to flip that for the second half. And Denham Springs got to help themselves. The quarterback got to take a little mustard off of it, and they'll probably have a little more success because they've had some receivers open, not wide open,
right,
but in a position maybe a 7 or 8 yard gain, and instead of completing it, it's going through the hands, and then it turns into 4th and 6, and they have to punt.
Jonathan Bravo will kick off for the Yellow Jackets. And we are ready to start the second half of play. 24-0 as we start the second half. And this will be a sky kick and bounce off the receiver and go out of bounds. And that's where DUTCHTOWN will take over from their own 29-yard line.
That is the other Mayo, Mayu, Ryland, on the receiving end. Ball bounced off the shoulder pad and went out of bounds. Still pretty good field position, 28-yard line. Certainly could be worse starting field position.
This offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage for DUTCHTOWN. They have allowed Dukes to run the football. They have allowed Harvey to run the football. And they've also really given Ethan some time to throw the ball when they want to. And we will start things off with Oquin. Oquin hands off, straight up the gut. Moving the pile. And that was Harvey, I believe, on the carry. Check that. It's Dukes. He picks up 5, brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a good run right there. Tough yards.
We've talked about it a lot, and he allows the blocks to get out in front of him. He allows the play to develop around him, and then once he sees a hole, he puts his foot down and goes. This will be Dukes again. Same exact play, basically off the right side, and he is still moving that pile. That is a testament to his strength and his legs being able to move it for 7 yards and pick up the first down.
We got him listed at 5'10", 175. Both of those may be a stretch, but he's running like he's 205, especially on that run. I mean, for no yards, basically, he pushes the pile for 5.
Doesn't hurt that he had a couple of those big boys pushing him a little bit as well.
The tush.
That's right, the old Philadelphia tush push. 1st and 10. Ball resting at the 38-yard line for the Griffins. Coming in motion is Dukes. We've seen that play several times, and they guarded it well. This time they find his tight end, and that will be the first time DeSherry has caught the pass. It'll be the second time they've targeted him, and he picks up 16.
Well, you like when they throw to the tight end. That's a nice little route right there. He puts it in a hole between 4 guys. Nice throw and catch.
You saw that they actually defended Dukes that time as he went in motion, or not in motion, but he slid out into the flats. And that they had not been doing that, talking about Denham Springs in the first half.
Yeah, 2 big plays on that swing pass.
Oquan intended for number 3, Mayu, incomplete. Well, I think they're going to call that incidental contact that time. We'll see it on the replay.
Oh, boy, if it doesn't happen, it's right on the money.
Yep. Right there, you saw him get tangled up a little bit.
Nice ball thrown right there. Throwing to the open receiver.
That was Jonas Clark on the coverage. Touchdown about 70-30 run to pass. And they've been that pretty much balanced like that this game as well. Tyler Adams. Adams got some running room. He will be brought down at the 25-yard line, but not before a big gain, and it will be number 12 on the tackle. Blaine Gibbs makes the touchdown-saving tackle.
You know, they swung Dukes out to the right, got all their eyes to the right, and in the meantime, they run in a slip screen back the other way.
And that's just adjusting on the coaching staff. They've made some great adjustments here, and they knew that the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets were going to start covering that screen pass to Dukes.
You mentioned it 2 plays prior that they had adjusted.
6th play of this drive. Again to Adams, and Adams picks up some more yardage. Mayu, excuse me.
It's to the 18-yard line.
See on the replay, just a little screen pass.
Credit to Adams, who all the wide receivers, man. If you can convince them to block when they're not catching the football, you can be successful. And
Trevor Lewis made the stop on that one. 2nd and 4. Again, a methodical march down the field for the Griffins. Oh, and he's going to be sacked. On the edge is Elijah Butler, the 6'3", 215-pound senior defensive end.
Brian Hawkins didn't bite on kind of the hitch and go, and had Tyler covered, and Ethan held on to it instead of throwing it into coverage.
Well, they lose 7 on the play. It brings up 3rd down and 11. Dukes is flanked to the right side of Oakwan. Eight minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. Calling for the football. Quick pass behind his intended receiver. That was Adams, and that would be one of the few really unfortunate passes or bad passes that Oakwan has thrown. Couldn't get his feet squared up.
Correct. That's what I was looking for. I couldn't see if it was a bad snap or he had a bobbled snap, but it just kind of like a second baseman trying to turn that two with just flipping your hips and not moving your feet, and second base was a little too far.
So they're going to go for it on 4th and 11, deep into Yellow Jacket territory. Oakwan calls for the football. Finds his man, but it's incomplete. Well defended that time by Voorhees, the cornerback. And they'll turn the ball over on downs for the first time.
I think that ball was sitting at the 30-yard line. So I was trying to think of field goal range, what kind of confidence they had in Mike Mathern. So the ball was at the 25. So that would have been a 42-yard. I'm just going back to the first half, Jimmy, and seeing whether or not where they wanted to get to.
Right.
Oh, Diego blows 2 or 3 guys up right there.
Not much there for a horn, as like you said, Diego and company really got in the backfield and allowed Horn just to have nowhere to go with it. Watch on the replay. Boom.
It'd be 2nd and 9.
Second and 9. Ball at the 26-yard line for the Yellow Jackets.
An unbalanced look. That'll balance it up.
That's more of what they would like to do traditionally, but not much there for Paul. Again, we have not seen R.J. Johnson, the senior, or Hudson Byers at all tonight. It's all been the sophomore, Brenton Paul.
Rents on the tackle. Traditionally a DB, maybe an outside linebacker playing inside tonight.
Brings up 3rd and 6. Play is blown dead.
Illegal procedure.
Again, we have not seen many flags tonight. It's been a very cleanly played game. That's the first penalty against Denham Springs. DUTCHTOWN also has 1 penalty. That was the big personal foul call at the end of the half. Or unsportsmanlike conduct, actually, excuse me. So that'll back them up 5, and it brings up 3rd down and 11. Obviously a passing situation for Horn. Horn's looking for somebody to throw to. The pocket's going to collapse on him. He escapes. Nowhere to throw the football, and he will be tackled on the sideline by number 26.
Rents
again.
He got after him pretty quick. He came clean across the field to run him down.
Ball is at the 31.
4th down, another punt.
4. So they have gone 5 of their 7 series have been 3 and outs. Here comes a punt. After that initial blocked punt in the very early going the first series of the game, Denham Springs has done a very good job of punting the football. Nowhere to go for Riley that time, as he is slung down by number 54, Caden Boyer.
The 3rd quarter is sponsored by
Well, let's take a look at what's coming up next next week on the Rev Game of the Week. We've got some good stuff for you. We've got one game for you on Rev Sports 1. It will be Dutchtown at EA. And then in 2 weeks, we've got the Division I non-select by-district round of the playoffs. Where we'll be or where our Ascension Parish teams will be is anybody's guess at this point. But we'll find that out on Sunday of next week, and we'll know where we're going.
Well, you have to believe Dutchtown currently at 6 will be a home game.
Right.
If they don't make it to the top 4, which means they won't play at all, they'll draw a bye.
Oh, big hole up the middle, and it's going to be Harvey taking it across midfield. Another touchdown-saving tackle by Rancher Miller, and Rancher well named for being able to ride those guys to the turf.
He's going to be sore tomorrow. No doubt about that. So I think Dutchtown and Santa are clearly in the playoffs. East Ascension getting some work done tonight. Going to need some help.
Not much there that time. As it was Harvey once again right into the teeth of that defensive line, and they just grabbed him and swallowed him up. It was Caden Davis along with Darren Scott. Still picked up 3 yards, or 2 and 2.5. We'll give him 3. Brings up 2nd and 7. Ball at the Denham Springs 45-yard line. 4:35 left to go in the third. It's interesting. The third quarter is going a lot faster than some of the other quarters because of all the scoring we had in the early going in this game. It'll be Oakland down the field, looking for it all, just over the fingertips of Casey McCoy.
Yeah. Against Walker, Dutchtown scores 20 in the first half, and maybe in the first quarter or early in the second, doesn't score. Got 24 here in the first half. They scored late in last week's game, but you want to be consistent. You don't want to. You don't want to have lulls and quarters of not scoring, and Dutchtown was just fingertips away from having maybe 2 this quarter.
Right. We'll tell you after this play. We got a scoring update for you on Santa Maria. Jailbreak. Hand gets the pass away to Adams. Adams has got some running room, turns it on to the 4th gear, down to the 6-yard line. Big tackle that time coming from behind. Number 3, Brian Hawkins saved the touchdown, and he just really turned on the Jets. Did Tyler Adams.
Well, once again, that's kind of – it wasn't Dukes on the swing pass this time. It was Harvey that was on the swing.
On the read option that time, handing off to Harvey, and Harvey will take it to about the 3-yard line.
Yeah, Tyler Adams, the beneficiary of some early success on other plays that maybe he was blocking for, and you know, it all – no greater team sport.
Rancher Miller made that tackle again. I don't know how many tackles he's got. He's got to at least be up near 10. And that's, again, your free safety making all those tackles.
You'll wake up tonight sometime or talk in your sleep and say rancher.
Right.
Mom will be like, what you talking about? We don't own a ranch.
There it is, the hole wide open. Does he get in?
Yep.
He does get in, but not by much. Harvey gets the touchdown, his 8th of the year.
You know, volleyball rules in effect. Being we just talked to Ricks, all that ball has to do is touch the white, and it's in.
Great job by our camera guys to get that right on the money, right down. It was like a pylon cam.
That's all interns down there, Jimmy.
Yep, all from Dutchtown. They're doing a phenomenal job tonight working in our cameras.
Big shoes to fill. Normally that would be Danny. Wide shot, but shout out to Danny and Andre.
The PAT is good, so with 3:03 left to go here in the third quarter, Dutchtown takes a 31-0 advantage, and we'll take a break. We'll be back right after this. You are watching the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of Dutchtown High School would like to thank SEC Heating and Cooling. Hollis Orthodontics. Tata Law Firm. Raising Cane's in Prairieville. Ross Downing, GMC. Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation for their support of our sports medicine program.
8th play, 67-yard drive, capped off by that 3-yard run by Harvey, and he picks up his 8th touchdown of the season. So you said they had a little bit of a scoring lull. They found the end zone that time in a combination of pass and run, which I think they like to see. Goes over the head of the receiver, and probably should have let the guy behind him kick that one.
Yeah, traditionally, and some other guy back in the day wore number 38 that wanted to catch the football too that I know of. But you don't want to run backwards. You want the guy behind you to come up and catch the football, and that's probably a coaching point. I'm seeing him, coach talking to the player on the sideline right now, probably telling him that exact same thing.
1st and 10, the ball at the 24-yard line of the Yellow Jackets. They will hand it off up the middle to Paul, and Paul will go nowhere. Swallowed up by the Big Purple defensive line.
Correction.
I'm sure the OC from Denham has probably flipped that play card over 4 or 5 times tonight trying to, what can I call?
Right.
Because DUTCHTOWN's defense has been all over the field.
They put Hudson Byer now into the backfield. Quick pass is caught.
Going to be short.
It was caught by number 21, Ethan Knuckles. And it picks up 4, brings up 3rd and 2.
It'll be 3rd and 2.
Defense is probably begging for a first down right here for Denham.
Little slow snap. It'll hand it off to Byers, and Byers. Nope, check that. That was Paul again, and he gets the first down, but not by much.
Blake Bowie, first time we really call his name tonight on the tackle, Jimmy. He's really been a force. Good football player on the outside. Part of the reason why they run the Hanberry sometimes is because Bowie does such a good job on the other side.
Third first down of the night for Denham Springs. That pass is complete from Horn.
Horn's pass complete to number 15.
That's Deshaun Goldman. And Deshaun Goldman is the brother of the quarterback. That we haven't seen tonight, but was expected to play, actually, and they changed their mind. Hole up the middle this time for Paul. Picks up 6.
This is the best drive of the night so far for Denham Springs.
Game of 6 will be 2nd and 4.
Playing with a little greater pace.
Well, and that's what you want to see from your team if you're Coach Brett Beer. They're not giving up. They're playing hard, and they're getting after it. As you see Paul run again, picks up another yard. But there's no quit in this Denham Springs team. They're battling their way through this with 35 seconds left to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah. They were playing with a little tempo, but if you run tempo, but you get the ball back to DUTCHTOWN, and the clock doesn't run as much. So it's a double-edged sword right now, but you got to get some kind of confidence.
This pass is caught, smothered, but not before he gets the first down. That was number 11, Peyton Puffer, and he'll pick up 5 or 6, and it will get another first down. That's only the first time that they've had 2 first downs in a drive.
Much more of a catchable ball as we come to the end of the third quarter right there.
At the end of the third quarter, ladies and gentlemen, your score, DUTCHTOWN 31.
That will do it for the third quarter. We head to the final stanza. The DUTCHTOWN Griffins leading 31-0 over the Yellow Jackets of Denham Springs. We'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere, folks. We've got more on the REV Game of the Week.
This baby will get your heart racing as much as your slick new devices do. Switch to REV. No contracts, no data caps, no nonsense. Just all fiber internet all the time. Build your plan at letsrev.com. Let's Rev. Internet speed so fast, you're gonna need seatbelts for your sofa. Switch to REV. No contracts, no data caps, no nonsense. Just all fiber internet all the time. Build your plan at letsrev.com. Let's Rev.
Her twin is.
Right. Oh, really?
Yeah, they're twins.
We head to the final 12 minutes. It has been all Dutchtown so far in this game. But, as we've said, Denham Springs is not giving up. They've gotten 2 first downs on this drive. So far, this is their longest drive of the night. 8 plays. Started back at their own 24-yard line, and they're now into Dutchtown territory. I don't think they've been in Dutchtown territory all night, maybe once.
I don't think so either. And Coach Beard so much wants points right here to have a good conversation.
Horn hands off to Paul, and Paul is swallowed up, this time by Zion Tremont. 6'4", 280 defensive end.
And while Denham wants to score, Chris Harrell's down there, the DC for Dutchtown, wanting to hang another goose egg. I mean, Dutchtown's only given up 7 points a game, maybe.
No, well, actually, Dutchtown, you take away the miscues on special teams a couple times, and they're averaging 4.5 points a game, and that was almost intercepted. The pass was broken up.
Carter Hanbury.
Man, he was right on top of that one.
He's a Southeastern commit, Jimmy. I don't know how much you watch Southeastern, but if you get a chance in the next 4 years, I don't know how he's not an impact player for those guys.
Yeah.
Once he gets his feet on the ground, learns the system. He was a Student of the Year candidate for Dutchtown. He and Chase Cangelosi, the center.
Glad you brought up Chase. We need to talk about his story. It's an interesting one. This pass is just dumped off and trying to get rid of it as he was being chased out of the pocket. Incomplete. Watch it on the instant replay here. They're bringing everybody. They'll drop a linebacker back, and he just throws it intended for Voorhees, and no way he was going to make that catch. It was number
Jeremy Jackson was on the coverage.
Yeah, thank you.
And I thought he had a little bit maybe of a hand on the hip, but Voorhees didn't say a whole lot for Denham. I said, well, maybe I was wrong.
4th and 11, they'll go for it. Dropping back, jailbreak. Overthrows its intended receiver, and it's incomplete. And that will do it for this drive as they turn the ball over on downs.
That was I thought it was a good play call when I saw the screen set up, but very well defended by Dutchtown.
Mason Miles right on top of it.
And that's the fear of an OC when they call screens. All it takes is one.
Right.
Maybe loafing on the play, and I don't think that was the case there. But just somebody who's kind of hanging around where they're not supposed to be can screw up the screen for you. And Dutchtown Howell was well schooled on that. I think they were where they were supposed to be.
1st and 10 for the Dutchtown Griffins. 11-10 to go here in the ball game. Nowhere to go that time. His defense says, no, sir, Mr. Dukes.
Ethan Oquin getting the rest of the night off. Dylan Champagne now quarterback. And I mean, there was a battle going into spring. Well, they didn't have spring, into fall camp and summer 7-on-7, and Ethan came away with that. But Dylan can throw it pretty well. He's a junior. Be the starter next year unless something changes.
Saw his dad, Mike, a little earlier. Old friend back from the old days. Hand off to Dukes. Dukes, patient, turns the corner, puts his foot in the ground, keeps driving, still on his feet. Finally wrapped up by Brian Hawkins and Jonas Clark. Man, what a big run.
Santamar gets another 3 points and make it a 2-score game right there. You're getting to the point, Jimmy, where all your friends are old friends.
Good point. Good point. Another scoring update, 4:16 left to go in the third. East Ascension 41-2 over Live Oak. That's going to be a nice homecoming victory for them if they can continue to play like they are. Handoff to Dukes again. Dukes will be chopped down after picking up a yard.
That's a big win. Even Live Oak was struggling a little bit, but East Ascension was too. And homecoming week to go out there and 41-2. Congrats to East Ascension.
There's the student section getting into the spirit of October being Cancer Awareness Month. Wearing pink.
A little bit of pink, but the theme was the underclassmen were babies. And the upperclassmen were grandparents, I think.
I see. I should have known better. Nice catch that time by Mayu. A little high, and he went up and climbed the ladder and got it. Oh, I wanted to mention, you mentioned the center, Chase Cangelosi, 6'6", 320, a senior. Talking with the coaching staff and Coach Mistretta, he just said the fact that when Chase came in as a freshman, he really wasn't quite in shape to play football like he is now, and he has just progressed to where he is a starting center on this team, and really it was voted the team captain, and is a real leader on this squad. And it's just it's great to see and hear. And as a coach, you see these guys grow up right in front of your eyes and really progress and do great things.
There's that swing pass, no doubt, and nothing better than when two of your captains are Student of the Year candidates. And when your football players and your captains and your leaders do it in the classroom, it makes coaching so much easier. You don't have to coach the little things of, hey, why you're not doing your homework? And with those guys, you don't have to worry about them getting into after-school behavior clinic and missing practice. But
face mask is the call on the flag. It's only the third flag of the night.
Yeah, it's a little bit different because for a while, center was a position like just snap the football, make sure you don't screw it up, and you and the guard are going to double team the nose guard, or you're going to block away. But in today's offenses, the snap. I think that was the biggest thing of Lloyd Cushenberry, who's a Dutchtown High graduate in that national championship run.
Quick little screen pass out to Casey McCoy.
Joe Burrow knew exactly where the ball was going every time. And then, a couple weeks ago, LSU, Turner went down, the backup went in, 2 bad snaps in a row, boom, they put a freshman in there. And the guy who started at center, and naturally I'm going to have a brain cramp and can't think of his name, he started for 3 years before Chase did. And he wasn't super big, but McCready was calling plays. Hey, put it right here.
Well, I got to tell you, Cangelosi, that 320 looks pretty good on him at 6'6". I mean, it's definitely a solid young man right there.
Yeah, well, 6'6" is not your typical your center.
I mentioned that to Guy when he told me that. I've got an 11-year-old center. He's going to be he's been working on it all year long. And I tell you, it's interesting to watch as he can snap the ball perfectly in practice, and then you get in the game and it's a little different situation. But he's been working on it, so Nathan's doing a good job at Our Lady of Mercy.
Well, congrats to. I don't have any boys, and maybe because God knew I was going to scream at him.
Well, there we go. 3rd down and 4. Quick pass, slant is caught. Good throw by Champagne.
Number 32 for the Griffins. The younger male.
Yep, Ryland.
Ball is at the 9. 1st and goal, Griffins.
1st and goal, Griffins from the 9-yard line.
Dutchtown got some young kids in there. Wide receiver number 30, Martell Rogers. He's a sophomore. Still got the old line in there. Want to give Champaign a chance.
DeSherry's in there as well. So is Dukes, and Dukes going to get the handoff. Dances his way for a little bit of a gain because he never gives up. He never stops moving those legs.
You know, I'm going to try to see if you can give me a running back reference of kind of Dukes' patience. Played for the Pittsburgh Steelers a few years ago before he sat out a year. Then went to the Jets, and you're not helping me, Jimmy. I can't think of his name right.
I thought you were testing me, and I was going to say I don't know. So you can
I can't think of his name. I will in a minute. I know Lyle's listening. Lyle probably knows who I'm talking about, but he was patient in that offense, similar to the way Dukes is.
This time it's Harvey, and Harvey will take it to the 1 yard line, maybe the 1.5, before being run out of bounds. Under 5 minutes to play now. And the ball will rest at the 2 yard line. Brings up 3rd down and goal. This is the 9th play of this drive.
Christopher Williams, he's seen some action earlier as the tight end, as Dutchtown kind of run the tight end and a sniffer back with DeSherry.
Up the middle. Defense stiffens, and they're not going to let him in. Not that time. Good job for the Denham Springs defense on the goal line. Brings up 4th down. He's going to lose a half a yard.
16 in the game. That's Andrew Fields. Brother Ethan Fields over at Ole Miss. Speaking of snapping, you're talking about your young boy. Makes me think of this district's offensive MVP last year, Pearson Pyron, who's snapping for Tulane. Looks a little strange in number 66, but he's the deep snapper and short snapper, and you can make a living as just snapping on extra point and field goal, especially in a world where they can't line up over you and hit you.
Yeah, well, you know. I remember when Todd Kenton was called up for the Patriots for a couple of games and went to the Super Bowl just to snap.
Yep, he was working at Parkview with me at the time.
That's right. I remember, yeah. Hand off, patient, finds the hole, into the end zone. Dukes, touchdown. That's his 2nd of the night. Check that, his 3rd of the night.
That's a big slice pizza TV.
2 yard touchdowns run for Gary Dukes, the 3rd. Mathern will come on to see if he can keep the streak alive. I hate to say that because inevitably the announcer's jinx will jump up and bite you. Ask Al Michaels about that. It's up. And it's good. All right.
You're safe for one. You're safe for one more.
Got through that one. 3:32 left to go in the ball game. 38-0. Dutchtown leading. We'll be back right after this.
The athletic training staff of Dutchtown High School would like to thank SEC Heating and Cooling, Hollis Orthodontics, Tata Law Firm, Raising Cane's in Prairieville, Ross Downing, GMC, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation for their support of our sports medicine program.
Updated score. 3rd quarter.
We are back. 3:32 left to go here in the ball game, and it has been all Dutchtown since the opening drive as they blocked that punt, got the ball at the Yellow Jackets' 18-yard line, and that started off the scoring onslaught. Cardona will put his foot into it once again, and they have been kicking it to Brian Hawkins. We'll see if they do the same thing again.
Denham Springs pants are so gray they look green.
You're right. This one will be kicked deep. It will be collected at the 11-yard line. And boom, down goes Voorhees. Number 44 on that stop. That was huge. A big hit that time by Cam Washington.
This time of the game, Jimmy, the team ahead 38-0 kind of keeps their starters in until the other team that has 0 kind of waves the flag, and then when they start subbing, you start subbing. So we'll see if Denham Springs decide to stay with their starters.
Santa Ma's heading into the fourth quarter with a 10-point advantage, 17-7 over Walker. Screen pass, flings it out. It's caught, still on his feet. He will finally be run out after a 15-yard pickup. Little screen pass from the backfield. It was caught by Hudson Byer. Haven't seen Byer much today. He's played a couple of downs.
Clock running. Just under 3 minutes left to go in the game.
6th first down of the night for Denham Springs. Halfback pass. Back to the quarterback, Horn, and it's incomplete. Well short of his intended receiver.
Halfback pass is incomplete.
Well,
it was McBride on the throw.
We watching McBride right there, and he's going to LSU. I don't expect him to play quarterback in the bowl game the way Kirkland did, who was an unbelievable high school athlete and quarterback for the Lutcher Bulldogs down the road.
Horn drops back, throwing deep. A bullet finds his man, Puffer. Puffer's got the ball down to the 22-yard line. Chased down from behind by Caden Mackey. Great throw and catch that time for Denham Springs.
22-yard line and a first down for Denham.
A little bit of a lax coverage that time by the secondary.
Santa Maria trying to hang on, 17-14 now. I want to say Leon was that running back. Is that Leon? Is Leon right for Pittsburgh?
Man, caught me at a disadvantage, my friend. Horn throwing for the end zone, wide open, makes the catch. He's short of the pylon.
They call it a touchdown.
They called it a touchdown. Boy, it looked like he stepped out at the 1-inch line, but got the ball across the pylon. What a beautiful throw, and he was wide open. That was just a busted play for the defense.
I think he just stuck that ball out over the pylon.
That's all he had to do.
At the last minute. Just a smash route. The Dutchtown had a couple guys on the hitch.
This is Bravo to kick the extra point. It is up and through. And the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets are on the board with 2:02 remaining, and that has got to be a great feeling for Coach Beard going into Week 10. Getting on the board, fighting through the adversity, and basically taking it 77 yards on 8 plays. So that was quite an accomplishment for the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets. And they knew they were going to be off this year from past years, especially losing those 30 seniors. I mean, you can't reload like that. Here it is. What a perfect angle by our camera crew. He's got the ball right inside the pylon, and that is why it's a touchdown. Well done, gentlemen and ladies on our crew.
Gives you a chance. Dutchtown get a chance to work on onside return right here, something you may need in a couple weeks.
Definitely got the hands team in there.
But Beard has something that at least positive. He may not even watch the rest of the film. Maybe he'll just watch that drive to encourage his kids.
It did go 10 yards, but it went out of bounds.
I think he got touched at about 9.
Okay.
But it went out of bounds.
They'll wave the flag off, and it looks like that is where Dutchtown will have the football. So they'll have 122 seconds left to do something here with some of their younger players making some plays and getting an opportunity for some experience.
I went to some of my sources for that Pittsburgh running back name, and he said, I can't remember his name, but he stutters in the hole, just like Gary Duke. So I got a good reference for you.
You do. It's just everybody's, going to their search engines here. Go to the phones. Figure it out, gentlemen and ladies. 1st and 10, ball at the 50-yard line, make it to 49 inside Denham Springs territory. It's going to be a handoff to Harvey, and Harvey is going to lose 3 yards. This defense is playing their hearts out for Denham Springs. They are really fighting hard.
It'll be 2nd and 13.
Brings up 2nd and 13 now. Clock continuing to run. Nope, check that. They will stop the clock, as it looks like we have an unfortunately shooken up player. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we will take a look at what's coming up next week on the Rev Game of the Week. We'll be back right after this with 1:35 left to go in the ball game.
Rev Business started small in 1935. We built our reputation by providing hometown service with Louisiana hustle. For nearly 90 years, we've expanded across our great state, through the swamps and across the Mississippi, bringing fiber optics from the capital to the North Shore, all to connect your business with the world. Rev is about big business technology with small business personal service. For a limited time, get up to $300 off business services. Call or visit us today at letsrev.biz.
B.T. Chapman and A.J. Pickett with Advantage Therapy are honored and excited to team up with DUTCHTOWN High School's athletics. At Advantage Therapy, we are dedicated to helping our patients regain the highest possible functional status through one-on-one patient care. Advantage Therapy has spent nearly 2 decades providing both outpatient orthopedic physical therapy and occupational therapy to the people of Ascension and surrounding parishes. From all of us at Advantage Therapy, go Griffins!
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, forget about X's and O's. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Dr. Brian Hollis is Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Dr. Hollis has an excellent reputation for bringing state-of-the-art technology and the highest standard of patient care to Ascension. He attended LSU Dental School, and he completed a residency to become a board-certified specialist in orthodontics. An avid supporter in our community, Dr. Hollis is married to Celeste Pyron Hollis, and they have 4 children. Dr. Hollis, Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Grow up smiling with Hollis Orthodontics. Get to know SEC Heating and Cooling this year. Locally owned and operated by Stephen Conyer since 2013, SEC Heating and Cooling works with residential and commercial customers in Ascension, East Baton Rouge, Livingston, and surrounding parishes. SEC specializes in preventive maintenance, repair, and complete changeout and installation of energy-efficient central air systems. From professional sales and expert installation of central AC systems to repairs and ductless AC systems, we can handle all your needs. For total peace of mind, call SEC today.
No one teaches you what to do immediately after an accident. Once everyone is safe, your first call should be to an attorney, not the insurance company.
Don't let the insurance company take advantage of you at your time of need. Call the Title Law Firm. We'll walk you through what you need to do in real time.
But you can take advantage of the Title Law Firm's 30 years of experience.
Before you call your insurance, make a free, no obligation call to the Title Law Firm.
Call 756-0007 when you're injured. You gotta call Title.
Rev Business started small in 1935. We built our reputation by providing hometown service with Louisiana hustle. For nearly 90 years, we've expanded across our great state, through the swamps and across the Mississippi, bringing fiber optics from the capital to the North Shore, all to connect your business with the world. REV is about big business technology with small business personal service. For a limited time, get up to $300 off business services. Call or visit us today at letsrev.biz.
The best way to recruit for at-home tailgating is Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin. All of the 5 stars are at Chris's Specialty Foods. Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
Looking for an extraordinary education opportunity? Introducing Ascension Public Schools Early College Option Program, where you can earn a high school diploma and an associate's degree from River Parishes Community College at the same time. Experience the best of both worlds as high school seamlessly blends with college coursework in a rigorous yet supportive program. Yet stay connected to your home high school through clubs, organizations, and sports. And here's the best part. Students pay no tuition or textbook costs. Ascension Public Schools Early College Option Program, where your future begins today.
REV Business started small in 1935. We built our reputation by providing hometown service with Louisiana hustle. For nearly 90 years, we've expanded across our great state, through the swamps and across the Mississippi, bringing fiber optics from the capital to the North Shore, all to connect your business with the world. REV is about big business technology with small business personal service. For a limited time, get up to $300 off business services. Call or visit us today at letsrev.biz.
B.T. Chapman and A.J. Pickett with Advantage Therapy are honored and excited to team up with DUTCHTOWN High School's athletics. At Advantage Therapy, we are dedicated to helping our patients regain the highest possible functional status through one-on-one patient care. Advantage Therapy has spent nearly 2 decades providing both outpatient orthopedic physical therapy and occupational therapy to the people of Ascension and surrounding parishes. From all of us at Advantage Therapy, go Griffins!
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, forget about X's and O's. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Dr. Brian Hollis is Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Dr. Hollis has an excellent reputation for bringing state-of-the-art technology and the highest standard of patient care to Ascension. He attended LSU Dental School, and he completed a residency to become a board-certified specialist in orthodontics. An avid supporter in our community, Dr. Hollis is married to Celeste Pyron Hollis, and they have 4 children. Dr. Hollis, Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Grow up smiling with Hollis Orthodontics.
Well, what an unfortunate situation we've had here. Just to explain to you what happened is one of the Denham Springs defenders, Brian Hawkins, whose number we've called a bunch of times, was taken out on a stretcher. We mostly for precaution. We're not going to speculate on exactly his condition, but he definitely got hit pretty hard. So we hope he is doing okay, and we will wish him the best as he gets through this evening. But we will have 1:26 and the clock ticks left to go here in the ball game, and they will just let the clock run down and basically take a knee and finish this out.
Yeah. As we were talking during the commercial, Jimmy, the fact that Denham Springs got in the end zone last drive, made it 38-7, is going to be something that they'll probably spend time watching more so than the first three and a half quarters. And Guy Mastretta, anytime you win kind of going away and you want to get your players' attention, he'll probably spend time watching the last 5 minutes of film, indicating that, hey, you can't let up. You got to keep your foot on the gas, those kind of things to his players as DUTCHTOWN gets in a shotgun victory formation just to kneel it out.
While we have what we'll do right after this play, but let's take a look at what's coming up next week real quick while this game is basically in the books, and it is, as we'll let the last 30 seconds tick off. Next week It'll be Dutchtown at EA, a big one. Just got a scoring update. East Ascension 48-9 over Live Oak, so they get a big homecoming victory. Of course, you will be streamed on Rev Sports 1, and you can watch replays on Rev TV 4, Sunday at 6 a.m., Wednesday at 9:30 p.m., Sunday at 6 p.m., as well as Wednesday at 7 p.m. So those are your replay times. But, well, I mean, this has been an exciting football game for the Dutchtown side. And I think Coach Beard is going to find some positives in this one. As tough as it was for his Denham Springs Yellow Jackets, they're going to find some positives here. They understand as they go into Week 10, they got their young sophomore running back, Paul, got a lot of reps tonight, so he got some experience. So lots to say about both of these two football teams, and they played very clean football as well, very few penalties.
Yeah. And the young quarterback Horn,
yep.
he threw the ball much better, much more catchable balls. Great, beautiful touchdown pass late in the ball game. And if he throws it like that early, the score is probably not the way it is. But they'll continue to build on that. And Dutchtown wants to continue to play well going into to next week. A lot of riding, power points wise. If Walker holds on, there won't be a whole lot unless Walker gets really upset next week when it comes to the district standings. But Dutchtown likes where they're at and how they're going. I would think Coach Mistretta's pleased.
The final score, 38-7. Dutchtown comes away with the big victory. I want to thank our great crew. We had Maggie Davis, Aiden Westerhouse, Louis Voorhees, Will Mollerberg, Danny Wilson, of course, Johnny Fontenot as well. And, of course, our director and producer, Andre Chapoy, and our executive producer, Lyle Boudreau. That's going to do it for us, my friend Patrick. I have really enjoyed doing the game with you. It's been a fun game here at Dutchtown. It's always fun to come out here and hang out with the Griffins.
Enjoyed it, Jimmy. We'll see where it takes us. Just like my first phone call, first date with my wife.
Absolutely, my friend. Well, that's going to do it for us. For myself, Jimmy Frederick, and Patrick Email. Good night, everybody. The final score, Denham Springs 7, Dutchtown 38, and that'll do it. Good night, everybody, on the Rev Game of the Week.